Hey guys, good morning. Roseann White here, coming to you live from Scottsdale, Arizona on this beautiful Saturday morning. I know this is not my regular scheduled day to come live on social media, but we've had just a few little changes going on here and there, so better late than never. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have been sharing with you, Debbie, Amber, and I, so many different products from Life Pro to help you in all different ways that you can feel stronger, um, more vibrant, deal with a lot of aches and pains and a lot of stuff that gets in the way in life. And now that summer's around the corner, no one wants to really be in the gym, but let's face it, we've got to keep working out every day. At least I know I do. And sometimes it's a challenge. I woke up today going, oh yeah, I got to go on live and I got to move my body, and I do take days off. So don't get me wrong, but maybe some of you are traveling this summer and you're not going to be able to get to the gym like you normally do. And Life Pro has the Infinity box. It's also, there's two versions, the Infinity box. And today I wanted to take you through a workout that you'd be able to do on the road. You can see I've got lots of equipment out here, but right below me, I've got my Infinity box laid out. So I want to I'm going to take a little bit of time to talk about the Infinity box itself. And I'm just adjusting my screen because I want, if anyone's out there, yeah, I got some viewers on. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Infinity box, and especially if you're new. I know we're streaming on social media on the Life Pro business page, and we've got the VIP page as well as YouTube. So I want to welcome you, but you might not have really paid much attention to the Infinity box. I've got to tell you guys, for the price that it's being offered at, plus I think this month in the Wellness Warrior Month, there's some great deals and a free massager. So take advantage of that. That's a great little package deal that the guys at Life Pro put together for you. And this product is something that you're going to be able to have around for a long time. You can loan it out to people that are traveling as well. Say you've got a daughter, a son, or a significant other, a friend that's traveling and thinks, oh man, I can't get to the gym. Share your Life Pro products with them. I share mine all the time with my clients and friends, and eventually they end up buying one as well. But I have the box laid out, or the platform and the pieces laid out. But I want to talk a little bit about if you're a beginner. I know that exercise can be super intimidating. I love working with beginners. That's kind of my deal. I mean, I just got a chance to work with a client who's 60 years old who has never done Pilates, and she's really not been into exercise for a while. So it can be very intimidating. And maybe you don't want to invest too much money in fitness products right now, but you want something that you can do easily. The Infinity box offers that. So the product itself, everything comes in a carrying case. So this is the carrying case. I've got my straps in there right now, but I want you to just be aware of how convenient the platform, the mat, and I have the bar laid out. Everything comes into this case, so you can literally put all the product in here. It's got great straps. You can put it in your back seat of your car. You can put it in your trunk. You can take it with you if you're going away for a long weekend or a week or so, that you just have the ability to work out at home. You don't have to take the heavy dumbbells. You don't have to take your treadmill. You don't have to take your platform. You can pretty much do everything with the Infinity box. Now, while I'm doing this live, if you have questions, please feel free to ask them. Let me know. I see a couple people viewing in. Let me know where you're tuning in from. If you have the box, if you've been thinking about the box, what's been preventing you from buying the Infinity box? Because I've had this for a while. I pull it out occasionally. I'm going to be honest, occasionally, because I have so much product around. But I want to share with you, first and foremost, one of the things that I love about it, okay? It's the push-up bar. Now, or the push-up capability. This box, let's talk about everything that comes. You get the platform, you get a mat, you're going to get a 2-piece bar that comes that screws together, and it's got a foam padding on it, and there are little hooks here. You can see the hooks. You get in the light here, and you can hook your straps to them. Okay, so you've got this. This bar itself is kind of nice to have because you can work with just a 1-pound weight if you're brand new to doing movement and you don't want to be limited by resistance. You can do some of the same moves I'm going to share with you with just the bar. So keep that in mind if you're a beginner. If you end up putting the bands on and you go, oh man, this is a little too intense for me, take the bands off. Do the movements that I share with you without a band. Use the bar. You'll have both hands working at the same time. So if, say, one arm is weaker than the other, you have the assistance of both hands to do a lot of the work. So keep that in mind. I love the bar. It's also used for the ab roller, and I'll share that with you. Even if you're a beginner on the Infinity system, you can use the wheel. It will be challenging, no doubt, but when one of my clients says to me, this is hard, I'm like, well, this is a workout. We're working out. We're getting you stronger. So we start where we're at, and we put effort in the movement and just monitor your progress by the commitment to continually repeat the exercises. Repetition will get you results. Okay, so also in the bag, you'll be getting, it's kind of like Christmas when you go through this. There's 4 resistance bands. You're going to have 2 long ones and 2 short ones. Now, I've already attached, I hook mine together so they stick. The orange bands are longer bands. So they're probably better for someone that's a beginner because you have more, they're a little bit lighter in the resistance and you have a bigger range of motion. You also get carabiners, and the carabiners are what attached. Let me show you the carabiners. This is a carabiner here, this piece right here. It attaches to handles. Now the handles themselves have different increments, different D-rings on. So as you get stronger, you can move the carabiner up to a closer to the handle, which will create more resistance. So know that's how you adjust and up level your exercise. On each end, there's a loop, and that loop is what goes around the clamps on the bottom of the platform. So I've got these 2 loops, and then I have blue loops, which are a little bit more resistance. And I think once I bring these blue loops out, I'll have everything. Getting out of the bag, almost. Yep, okay. So here are the blue loops. They're much shorter and they are much more taut. They're heavier in resistance. So you may not use these in the beginning. Why resistance work versus weight training might be a question that many of you have if you are new to exercise. I like resistance training because it is actually healthier for the joint to work with resistance rather than weight. If you're compromised in any of your joints, maybe it's your wrist, your elbow, your shoulder, when we do weight bearing, especially people that I deal with that have rotator cuff problems, you put a weight in your hand and try to move it side or front or overhead, and it may hurt the joint. Resistance training, there's effort lifting up and down, but you're not pulling on the joint like weight. So I do a lot of resistance training with my clients first to get their joints stronger, and then I go into the weight training. So that's just kind of my protocol, and I've been a trainer now for over 25 years. And I find that sometimes resistance training is quite difficult. It's not. I used to think personally, this is my personal experience. I used to think, oh, I'm not going to use bands. I want to go right to weight training. And the first resistance band workshop I took, oh gosh, years ago, I was amazed how challenging it was. So do not discount resistance bands. Now, what I love about these resistance bands is there's a fabric that covers the bands, that if for any reason the band itself snaps, and it does take a lot of overexposure to heat or usage to have the band snap, they're self-contained in the fabric, so they won't pop out. They're less opportunity to hit yourself in the eye or whatever. And also, the protective fabric keeps the life of the band, gives it a longer life. So that's why I like the covered bands. All my bands have fabric covering except for the flat bands. So just know that you've got two sizes of bands. Today, I'm going to be working with the orange bands because this is more of a beginner workout. Okay, so I won't be using the blue bands today. Also, you have the option, as I mentioned before, I've got the handles on my bands, but you also have wrist, we're going to call them wrist or ankle bands. And they're Velcroed, so you can easily, I want to make sure that I can put my light on here so you see it, yeah. So you can easily, I like the padding that goes around them. You can not only use these on your ankle, but you can use them on your wrist. So if you, for example, have hand injuries or you feel very, very weak in your wrists for whatever reasons, you can put the band, the cuff, on your wrist, and you can do your arm movements with the loop, with the cuff. Okay, so keep that in mind. If you decide that, man, it's just I can't hold on too much, use the cuff. It'll move around a little bit. Don't worry about that, but know that that is another option if you are a beginner in this work. You can also put this around your ankles. Okay, so that's that. So I've got the two cuffs. I'm going to put those aside. I am going to demonstrate because this is one thing that I absolutely love. I'm going to do several movements using the door hanger. This is going to be a little tip I'm going to tell you, that even though you've got this whole system, you're going to go away for just maybe a day or so. You don't want to carry everything along. All I want you to do is to take the door hanger, take your set of loops, okay? Just take these two things with you, put them in one of your Life Pro bags. If you have several Life Pro products, you probably have some Life Pro bags. So you can put all these in a very small bag, or you just shove them in your suitcase, your backpack. You can take, this can be your entire gym in this hand, okay? So whether you're a beginner or a seasoned fitness enthusiast, fitness professional, just this is an incredible, this product right here, incredible workout. And you can always throw some of your resistance loops. These guys, you can always throw a couple of these in. All right, I've chatted enough. I've been on way too long. I know you're ready for a workout, so let's talk about that. First and foremost, you've got your push-up handles. And then you got your push-up handles and your infinity platform. You see this little guy over in each corner? They're color-coded, and you probably can see the color coding. Each color coding ties into a color on the platform. There are 10 different positions that you can put yourself into for push-ups. Now, as a girl, as a woman, push-ups were never my strong suit. for so many different reasons until I started doing them. Am I great at them? No. Will I get better at them? Yes. Why? Because we practice. So before I even start doing push-ups, we're going to warm up. Okay, then I'll just talk about some mechanics of push-ups before you start just throwing your body weight into it. That's pretty important because if you do not have proper alignment in a push-up, you probably won't want to do any push-ups anymore because it'll be hard. You won't feel like you're getting results, and you may have injuries. So don't take push-ups lightly. You see guys, military guys, cranking those push-ups out. Well, they had the same challenges you did as a beginner. So what I'm going to have you do is take one of your bands, one of your orange bands. I'm going to take my hook off, and we're going to warm up because it is important that your joints are warmed up before we start our workout. So what I want to do is I'm just going to take the band and I'm just going to give it some little pulls. Now, these bands are quite heavy in resistance, so you may not get a lot of movement, but I want you to at least check out your wrist alignment, okay? Make sure that your wrists don't cock. What I say about cocking, here's that angle. I want you to make sure you've got good wrist angle. So you're going to push out, okay? You're just going to press out. Align your head over your shoulders over your hips over your knees, and your knees over your ankles. And you're just going to give little tugs. When you do the tug, you exhale, hold the resistance, inhale, release. They're small, okay? Think about 3 inches below your belly button, pulling the belly in and up. I'm not tucking my tailbone and not pushing my butt back. I want to pull up through the pelvic floor and get nice, strong, straight arm movements, lengthening out. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to reach up, and I'm going to bend and straighten in the front and the back, meaning the strap goes in the back behind me and in front of me. Now, if you find that you are tight in the pecs, I'm going to bring my camera up because I keep losing my. If you find you're tight in your chest, one thing that will happen, and I see all the time, you're going to bring your head forward. That is not going to help you at all in your workout. So let's talk about forward band in front of your chin. You take it back. I want you to bring your elbows slightly forward, then bring the band back. Forward, in front of your face, behind your head. Okay, we're getting that range of motion in the shoulder joint. Again, if you find you have to bring your head back, don't take the band behind your head. You're not ready yet. You're not opened up in the chest. It's okay. I'd rather you just take it down a little bit and bring your elbows forward and back. So see what I'm doing? These are definitely warm-ups. And I work with a lot of older folks that have shoulder issues. And to do this is quite difficult for them. They want to move their hands. I'm going from a position of perpendicular and then turning my elbows forward. Okay. This is a small range of motion, but critical in your shoulder joint health. Now, once I have my elbows forward, I might stretch back and in. And again, I'm keeping abdominals pulled in. I'm pulling the band apart, and I'm opening up the chest and release. So we've opened up, we've warmed up some of the shoulder muscles. We've opened up the chest. We've worked the rhomboids, and then we'll finish our little warm up. And it's not an intense warm up. We're gonna come up, straight arms, and reach back and forward. So I'm gonna reach up, pull back. Over time, with strengthening and stretching chest muscles, you're gonna have full range of motion. Coming forward, I keep my arms straight, I go back. But you've got to warm up the tissue. You don't want to do this first and foremost. You want to warm up, okay? This is called circumduction of the shoulder joint. And this is a daily practice until it becomes effortless to do, okay? So I want you to practice this every day. And now my shoulders are really warmed up and I'm ready to go. Now we're going to go into our first set of push-ups, and I'm not going to go through every phase of push-up, because there's so many different ways to do a push-up. We can go wide push-ups, wide. We can go stand, so wide is out here. Standard are a little closer in. We can go low push-up. We can work the back and abs. We can do a diamond shape where our hands are in this diamond shape position. We can do a higher push-up. So you'll see based on your little guy here where you want to do your push-up. I'm going to come from the side to show you the push-up. And I'm not going to be on my toes for this because you're a beginner. And as I love to say, you're only a beginner once. But when you're in the beginner phase, you want to make sure that your alignment is perfect. So I'm going to take my handles. Okay. I'm going to place them into the blue slot. So I'm going to be very much alignment here. Now my push-up will look like this. I will bring my elbows in. I never go past the middle seam of my shirt. I'm going to come in and press out. Okay, this is the motion. Bring your platform in front of you, and you can see I'm on my hands and knees here. I'm at 90-degree hip, knee, 90-degree shoulder, torso. And all I want to do right now, I'm not leading with my chin. I'm going to bend my elbows, hinge forward, and press up. Inhale, exhale. I'm not dropping my butt. I'm just going to pull my elbows back and press. I'm going to ask you to do at least 8 of these. Soft bend and press. Now, what I do want you to think about is that your belly is pulling up. You're not letting it sag. One more, bend and straighten. Again, you're mimicking a motion of bending and straightening. The only difference is I'm bringing my body forward and then away. Look where my shoulders are. They start right over my wrists. I'm bringing my head forward, and I'm going to bend my elbows and push off. Once you feel that you've got that under control, you can then slide the platform away and come into a long plank, kneeling plank. This alone, for many of us, is a lot of work to keep the abdominals in. Many people like to stick their butt out. I want you to think you're tucking tail, pulling abdominals in, and shoulders are over the wrists, okay? From here, you bend just to the side of the rib and push away. It's an inhale and exhale. Now, when I'm pushing away, I'm pulling my belly back first. It comes from here first. Inhale, abs push you back to the starting position. Okay, so that's how you're going to do your push-ups. Start there with knees bent, then go to long plank. Over time, you'll be on your toes and you'll roll forward, bend, push. So you can see I come forward and back. It takes a lot of effort to do this. Quality versus quantity. I gave you the number 8 for a rep count. Do 3, do 4. Mark it, keep accountable. Have a little workout pad or sheet. Track your progress. I'd rather see you do 3 to 5 good ones, then build up to 8, and then move on. Now, there are so many different angles of doing push-ups, like I mentioned. If you decide to go to a different angle, and let's just go across to the blue right in the center. Okay, same deal. I'm going to come forward. I'm going to stay in the plank position now. Elbows go out to the side and forward. Side. They never come up in front. I have a slight elbow slightly below the shoulders. Right. And then, so I'm not here. I'm down here. Watch you're not using your traps. And then the one for the abs, the yellow, which is very interesting. This is very interesting because now I'm going to be here, okay? And I'm just going to hold my plank. My elbows come in and I push. So you can see shoulders over the wrists. I bring my hips forward and pull in. My belly pushes back. It is all core in that one. So just by those slight movement changes, always starting with wrists in line with shoulders. The hand placement changes when you're based on what angle you're using, but your body position will always be there, okay? So that's how you're gonna do your push-ups. Now, we'll take the rails off, the clips off. And you can see I've got my clamps in the position number, let's see, I believe that is 3. I'm going to stay at 3. There are a lot of different numbers on the bottom of the platform, but for ease of operation today, we're going to stay at 3. We're not going to mess around. Okay, so I'm going to put each of my loops, my orange loops, around. And I'll weave them through. Let me get my handles off. I want to make a point, a simple point to show you how quickly you can change if this is not enough resistance. I gotta get my carabiners off, otherwise I'm not gonna be able to use them. Come on. There we go. Okay. So once I have them placed in the clamps, I'll start here. If I find that this is too long, I'll just flip-flop it. I'll put the right over to the left over to the right, and I'll take off some of my slack. So that's kind of how you're going to work this. You can either keep the band on the same side as the clamp, or you can crisscross over if you want to change the length of your strap. That's how simple it is. That's why we have all those numbers there, based on your exercise, your range of motion. But I'm starting here, which is going to be quite tight. If you need less resistance, you'll just move it over to the 7 on each side, but be consistent on the numbers you use. I'm just going to start with 3. Okay, again, if you think, oh my gosh, that's too tight, move it each one to the 7. Again, that's how simple this is. Okay, once I'm down here and my straps are in place, oops, my clamps fell off. Now I'm on carpeting, guys. I didn't secure this enough. Clamped in place, there we go. I'm on carpeting, so for me, I don't need the Infinity Box comes with 12 rubber stoppers. So if you're on wood or vinyl, linoleum, you'll put the stoppers on. I don't need to do that because I'm on carpeting. I've got my handles in place. I'm going to go for the longest handle I can get because I am going to work with a small amount of resistance. As you get stronger, you just keep shortening your loop. That's the whole idea. Okay, so here are your basic movements with your straps. You can see they're quite long, and that's okay. I'm going to start with my palms up, and I'm going to come down and up. Now, this is quite an easy bicep curl for me, but the work is at the top end. This might not seem like a lot. That's okay. Start here. Everything doesn't have to be about, oh my God, this is so much resistance. I want you to get bicep action at the very top of the range of motion. It won't hurt your elbow joints. Okay, abs are pulled in. I'm going to breathe in, and then you're going to find the tension right there, and I contract into it. Nice and smooth, the contraction right here, okay? After I've done 8 of those, I'm going to turn my palms to face. Now, shoulder presses. This will be a smaller range of motion. I come up to my head, I'm in a goalpost position, and back down. My elbows are in front of the bands. Exhaling up, inhaling down. So I'm working the top of my shoulders. Quite a bit of resistance here. And remember, this is at 3. If you want less resistance, you move your clamps out to the 7 position. Abs are always pulled in and you're always breathing. Now, if you want to add something to this, you can go ahead and squat down, come up, bicep curl to chest to shoulder press. So I'm going to come down. I'm going to squat up and press. Inhale down, up and exhale. Now I'm going into more of a full body movement here. And my heart rate's coming up. I can feel it. Okay. We can also go unilateral, working a little bit more core. My shoulders are burning out already. And release. Push up to bicep curl to shoulder press. Now, if I bring my arms out to the side, this is not too much resistance for me, but I'm going to lift and lower. It's little. Exhale. It's more of an isometric movement when we do this. And release. Relax your shoulders, take out any tension. Now, we talked about mobility of this movement here, the circumduction. We're going to do the same thing with the bands. I'm going to make little circles around and around. You'll feel the back muscles and the shoulder blades. Take it down. I'm telling you what, you'll burn out quickly, so just relax. When you feel that muscle burn or any tension in your neck, take a break. Bring your arms up. And by the way, I'm going to show you what my position of my arms are. I say this in a lot of the videos, but maybe you didn't catch me at all. My hands are not back here. My hands are slightly in front of my shoulders. Okay, and here's my circle. Not big, you see? You reverse it. And come down. This is a good time if you have a vibration platform to put your hands on the platform and just let everything shake out, because there's a lot of blood pumping into the muscle here. So from this position, let me move my camera a little bit here. I'm going to go into, with the same straps, I'm going to crisscross over. Now, you don't have to hold on to the handles. You might want to hold on to the loops. And then I'm going to go into an upright row. Let's see. Yeah. I think I'm just going to hold on to the base of the handles. Elbows here. I'm going to come up and down. Okay. So from the front, it looks like this. Still working shoulders, working back muscles, working core. We'll take it down to a deadlift where I'm hinged from the hips. I come up and I pull. I hinge back, hands go to the knees, flat back and pull. Push the hips back. Let's do 2 more. Getting the abs and the glutes in it. And last one. Great. So I've showed you bicep, shoulder press, side raises, upright row. These are about 5 basic exercises to do with your fitting box. You can also do these using your bar. All we simply need to do, and I'll go through this quite quickly because I want to show you the door anchor. This one I love my door anchor so much. Okay, so I'm putting my hooks on. The carabiners attached to each end. Let me do the side guy first. That bar's heavy. Okay, I want to make sure it's attached. I'm going to keep reminding you, if this is too much tension, adjust your clamps at the bottom. Okay, here's your bicep curl. Show you here. You can go narrow or wide. You decide. Narrow bicep curl, wide. But the key factor here is don't let your elbows move forward. Keep them locked in place. Come out all the way up and down. You can alternate between narrow and go wide, or what feels comfortable for you. I don't have a lot of grip. See, my fingers are wiggling. I don't want to white knuckle this. I'm going to do 2 more. Now, I'm changing my hand grip. My index fingers are right outside my thighs. I'm going to slide that bar down to my knees. I'm going to come up. I'm going to pull to an upright row. So I just showed you a deadlift with the handles. Now I'm going to use the bar. I slide the bar down to just about below kneecaps, slide it back up, and pull. One thing I want you to watch, if your wrists are cocking, like I told you before, check to make sure you have a straight wrist, okay? That means maybe your bar doesn't come up this high. If you only come up to here, but if you start bending your wrist, you've gone too far, you're going to affect the shoulder joint. It'll come forward. So keep the wrist flat. That is a big correction I do with a lot of my clients. So I come up, again, I want to make sure it's the little pinky side of my hand that's holding the weight. Okay, hinge down, hinge up, and lift. Let's do 3 more. Last one here, and release. Now, chances are this is a lot of resistance for me to do a shoulder press. So I'm going to do a quick little switch of my clamps. I'm just going to pull them out. I'm going to take them to 7 because I know that's going to feel better for my shoulders. Make sure the clamps are in place. Flip it over. And I know I'm going to be happier here. Yeah. So now, set position. I want to bend my knees. And I'm going to get under the bar. I'm going to press up and come down. I've got a reverse curl. Reverse bend knees. Push up and down. Bend the knees. Reverse curl. Push up and down. Bend. Reverse curl. Okay. Now you can stay up here after a few. Let's go for 6, 5, 4. Bars in the heel of the hands. 3. Elbows are forward. 2 and 1. And release. Quite effortful, I must say, but such good stuff. This is a great upper body workout, but you saw how I added my squat and my hip hinge of our deadlift, so I can incorporate that with my band. Now, before I go any further, I want to take you guys into just demonstrating the wheel, because you got it. We got to learn how to use it. So what we'll do, I'm going to go back to, let's see. I think I'm going to make my bands cross over. So I'm going to go, keep it at 7. I'm going to crisscross over. So the left band goes on the right side, the right band goes on the left side. I made my bands quite a bit shorter. I want to make sure that you guys can see what I did here. I crisscrossed over, okay? Now the platform's going to have a little bit of play in it, but don't worry about it. You're going to kneel on it. Slide it back a bit. I'm going to put my pad on my platform. I'm going to grab my wheel, unscrew the bar. My husband loves the wheel. And when I showed him that we could attach it to resistance, he was all over this. That was a great idea. If you've used just the ab wheel on your own, it's really hard. But I couldn't believe how much, I want to say easier, how much more doable it was once I added the resistance band to it. It was a game changer. Okay, let's get everything out of the way here. Can you guys see me okay? I think you can. Back a little bit. There we go. Oh, I want to make sure you see me. Now, everything I told you about coming forward, we want to keep from dumping, and we don't want to stick our butt out too much. You've got to make this rib, bottom rib, find your bottom rib and your hip bone. You want to keep those connected. Okay, like I like to think of like two baby diaper pins. This area doesn't collapse forward or back. We're working middle belly here. So I'm going to come into my quadruped position. My butt is up right now. And as I roll the bar forward, I bring my hips forward and I push out. And then I come back in. Oops, I'm off angle here. Press out and back. Now over time, this is a small range of motion, right? Because I don't want to go too far out. I'm protecting myself. I'm dropping my butt down and up. Head is over the wheel. I want to keep my shoulders over the bar. I'm getting out of frame. Let me get back here. As you get stronger, remember, it's a process. You'll push that wheel out further, okay? That's where your core really has to stay connected. So I'm pushing out. See where my hands are and really to my shoulders? Then I come back in. Drive it out. Press your knees down and push out. One more. And back. So we are working a lot of chest muscles, a lot of ab muscles, and you're going to feel your booty too. Now those are some basics for your Infinity box. This is the Infinity Plus. I'm going to spend just about 10 minutes or so showing you the wall anchor because I think that is such a cool thing that we can take part of our equipment and take it on the road with us. If we don't want to take the whole box, the platform, you just don't have the room. I mean, this is meant to be traveling, but sometimes you just don't have a lot of room. But you don't want to feel like you can't take some exercise equipment with you when you work out. Okay, so get rid of the bar, get rid of the wheel. I'm not going to take it with me when I'm on my quick little overnight trip to see a family member. I don't need my pad. I can always use a towel at the hotel or my friend's house. I'm going to unhook these guys. This folds up. There's a little piece of Velcro that's going to keep it from opening while it's in storage mode. So there's my platform. I'll put it back in my bag later on. I've got 4 carabiners. Make sure I've got all 4. That's important. You have those. So I'm going to attach. And I think I'll go to right where the first D-ring is on my handle. I'll attach that to one loop. I'll attach it to the other loop. I'm going to get my door anchor. You know what's really interesting about this product is that it kind of forces some dexterity in your fingers. I don't deal with arthritis in my hands really, but I can tell you this: as an active aging adult, those little muscles in your fingers don't work like they used to. So you've got to keep a lot of dexterity. And I'm not quite into needle pointing yet. Someday maybe I will, which is a great way to keep your hands active. You know, we've got our Leva glove and some of our Life Pro products for people who do have arthritis. But actually using your hands is super important. So I'm going to take my door anchor. I'm going to put it, oh gosh, about chest height. I think is good for what we're going to do. Oops. Oops, oops, oops. Right above there. Before I close the door, I'm going to adjust to about chest height and shut my door. I'm going to put my anchor there. I'm going to grab my 2 loops. I can't find my 4th carabiner, so I'm only using 1 carabiner here, but use 2 if you can. I just can't figure out where I put it. It's around here somewhere. But 1's fine. It's strong enough. Got 1 loop in. Put the other loop in. Come on. You know you can do it. There you go. All right. So I'm really well anchored to this door now. You don't have your platform, so you can't do push-ups, right? Well, you can do chest press. Oh, this one's, you gotta shorten this one. My handles weren't even. Get your handles even. Make sure they're even when you do this. Okay. So I'm going to reach out, and my straps are right over my shoulders. You see I'm leaning into this? You got to trust the door. So lean in to make sure that you feel comfortable. Once you've got your length of pull, this is my longest pull, I'm going to step forward. So I know I can't go any further than this. I really pulled the band out. I'm going to bend and push. Now I've got my left leg out, and that's fine. You can do whatever leg you want. But I keep my body angle the same. My right glute is working to keep me from coming forward. And it's over my shoulders. Come back in. Now, I know where my base is. I know how far I can go. I can actually do a lunge and come back. Press out and come back. Now I've got some aerobics into play here. You can go a little bit further forward now. This is more intense. I'm pressing into it. I might not get a full punch, but I'm making my whole body. See my fingers? I'm not holding on for dear life. In, press. And release. Heart rate comes up. Turn around. For every chest exercise, do a pull exercise. Every push, you do a pull. Okay, so now I'm here. I'm going to make sure I'm not my camera. Shoulders down. Slight sit back. I'm going to pull to my ribs. When you go past your ribs, look at that shoulder head. I don't want it to go any further than where it should be right here. So I pull. Otherwise, I'm going to dump in and I'm going to maybe cause some challenges in my shoulder joint. Here. Thumbs up. I'm actually, see how my index finger is pointing my trigger finger? I'm using my pinky, my ring finger, and my middle finger. Less stress on my elbow joint. You want to add some cardio to this? Lunge. Reverse lunges. Safe on the knees for you beginners. And I'm not a beginner, but I still like my reverse lunges much more than my forward lunges. But both are good. Okay, so there's you can go wide, okay, my wide row, or a narrow row. Mix it up. What I also like about this, and I'd love to show you side lunges because not only front and back body need to work, but we want our hips to work. So I'm going to put my hands right, top hand on, or outside elbow, hand on top, inside elbow, hand at the belly. If you look down at my feet, I want to make sure you can see them. My outside elbow and my outside foot are pointing out, right? So I'm going to lunge. It's just my top arm that's pulling. My bottom hand stays right by my belly. I forgot how much I love this exercise. Now you can pull the elbow a bit more, working back muscles, or you can punch with the inside arm and you keep the top arm still. You're going to feel a lot of your hip, inner thigh, and outer hip. How many muscles did you use in this one exercise? A lot. Let me show you from behind so I'm not lopsided. So I'm taking outside elbow, hand on top, inside elbow, hand by the belly. Okay? In the T stance, I'm going to side lunge. So you can see I'm pulling out. Now I'm going to add my inside. I'm going to punch it in. And once again, my heart rate went up. I've worked a lot of rotator cuff muscles in a different direction besides shoulders, hips, glutes, quads, and all above. What else did I want to show you guys? Some triceps, because we didn't do that much in triceps on the platform we do, but let's do some tricep work. Okay, elbows are bent, facing the door. I'm going to push. So I'm just going to straighten my arms. I always have soft knees when I do this. Just as much as we did the triceps, you can do biceps two ways. You can have arms up. I'm going to do soft bend and we're going to pull. So most people keep their elbows down. This is shoulder and bicep movement, straight and pull. That's one option. Or you can do a bicep curl differently. So I know here's my range of motion. I want to find end range where my biceps are working. I'm going to do a split stance. I'm going to come down and pull. So when we talk about getting balance in our exercises, sometimes it's not just lifting your knee up and finding balance here. It's balance in keeping core stabilized. So when I just showed you this exercise, the band wants to pull me forward. So I've got to work my glutes to keep me balanced and not want to come forward. Stability. I can now add a knee and challenge balance with resistance. I don't have to think about a platform, shaking and baking. It's the resistance band. So that's how we can work our balance. Oh. Well, I know that was a lot I've covered within the past hour in kind of incremental movements. But the point of you as a newbie, just lost you guys there. The point that I want to make with the Infinity Box is this. Resistance training, you'll go through ranges of motion where you may not feel resistance till you feel it and you come back. You always want to think about posture, head, shoulders, hips, knees, your alignment. When you're doing any kind of pushing exercises, wrists over shoulders, abs are pulled in. There's breath work in everything you do. Every movement has a breath. You adjust the resistance. So when I did the door, I can do different angles on the door. I can do a whole class just on this door anchor because I mean, actually, I do a lot of classes just on the door anchor because my clients travel. You can work every part of your body. You can use those resistance bands um, with straps on your ankles for inner and outer thigh work. But you saw when I did lunges, I was doing the same thing. So lots to choose from, lots of choices. That's what Life Pro does to us. They give us a lot of choices on ways to exercise for health and fitness. I hope some of these were helpful for you. And you guys come join me on Monday morning. We're going to do a Memorial Day workout with our vibration platform and our Power Flow dumbbells. So join me before you go to your cookouts or have to stay in the kitchen preparing food for the cookouts or getting the house ready. That might be your workout, but if you're not doing that and you're just going to the party, come to my party on Memorial Day and we'll work out together with Life Pro. Have a wonderful Saturday. I'm off to my Pilates class now. I'm really warmed up, so I'm excited that I don't have to worry about just diving into a class cold. I hope you have a great day, and I look forward to serving you soon. Bye for now.